Today is March the 20th, 2025. The time is approximately 9:07 a.m. We're here today for the Full Drink Sunday Summer Garden liquor license application hearing for G&M Investors LLC, doing business as Showtime's Bar and Grill to be located at 4400 North Broadway. We have present today Mr. Rodney Scales, the shareholder and managing officer. According to the application, there are two shareholders listed for this application, Mr. Scales with 19% and Ms. Gwen McMullins with 81%. Mr. Scales submitted this application for a restaurant bar on February the 21st, 2025, with the understanding, Mr. Scales, that you are applying for a restaurant bar here today, that your hours of operation will be 9 a.m. to 12 daily. No exceptions. That will be your hours of operation, 9 a.m. to 12 midnight daily. You cannot go past 12 midnight.
What about we want to do breakfast at 6 a.m.?
If you want to do graphics at 6 a.m., you cannot sell liquor. Liquor cannot be sold on your premise until 9 a.m. 9 a.m. to midnight only. There's no exceptions to this rule, with the understanding that you must sell food anytime that you're operating, and that according to the ordinance, 51% of your food has to be, 51% of your sales have to be food. And if you don't make the 51%, there is a $200,000 if you're, in maximum for your quota.
When you say $200,000 maximum quota, that my liquor sales cannot exceed 200,000.
Your gross sales, 200,000. You can go over that, but it's a minimum of 200,000, in which 51% has to be from food sales.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we did some housekeeping, and I'm gonna go ahead. For the record, I want to enter a certified copy of ordinance 71819. Do you have any objections to us entering this ordinance on the record?
No.
Okay. Also, I want to enter a copy of Excise Exhibit 2 as the file that is stored with the Excise Division regarding G&M Investors LLC. Do you have any objections?
No.
For the record, my name is Gwendolyn Cherry Sims. I'm the Liquor Control Supervisor, acting in the absence of Mr. Miles McDonald, the Excise Commissioner. Also in the room today is Mrs. Mildred Bell Gibbons, the Executive Secretary. I'm gonna need you to sign in on that piece of paper right there. The requirement is that none of the persons listed as a part of the entity are to be in debt in any way for taxes owed. We ran both applicants through the collector revenue system and was given an approval. We checked the police records for calls for service for this location. No calls for service came back for the 4400 North Broadway. We did not receive any nuisance report for this location. We did receive a concern from another business within the area that had some concerns regarding the name Showtime Bar and Grill, because their business name is The Show. So I have asked Mr. Scales to speak with the owner of that business concerning this matter to try to address it before it becomes a civil matter. But at this point in time, it's nothing that infringe on the liquor application that we're here for today. Mr. Scales, do you have any questions at this time?
No, I don't.
What, based upon the ordinance, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to, that no persons appeared in protest, I'm going to approve the initial 90-day temporary license for G&M Investors located at 4400 Broadway. What the 90-day do, you will need to produce all the requirements that's needed. It'll give you the right to sell liquor for the initial 90 days. Within 2 weeks of that 90 days expiring, you come in and we'll issue you another 90-day temporary. Within, I guess, 3 weeks of that 90-day expiring, we will schedule what is called a final determination hearing. And at the final determination hearing, it will be determined whether you had the 51% gross sales in food and or the 200,000 in sales. At that time, that's what we will do. And at this time, we don't have any more questions. We're going to approve the issuance of your first 90 days.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So when we talk about $200,000 in sales, gross sales, so so basically in 180 days, because it's 180 days, do we have to meet a $200,000 requirement to maintain business? Because this is
That's a projection. Your first 6 months, actually, the 290-day in a 90-day interval, we'll look at those figures. Then when the second 90-day interval, we will look at that figures. Then the final determination, we look at that projection to see if you're on target. And if you're on target for the 51% sales, you may not make the whole 250,000, but 51% of your food sales have to be.
Okay, because when I did my business performance, I did a business performance based on that my first year in business that we would do about 350 to 400,000 total, because it's a new to industry startup business. That's the reason why. So I don't want to make sure I cover that. If we now hit 200,000 in gross sales in 180 days, that we may not have a business.
No, the 180 days is based upon a projection that we're looking at toward the sale figure. So we're looking at your 51% and making sure that 51% is your food sales, knowing that your business have to sell food anytime that it's open from 9 a.m. to midnight daily.
For understanding, we cannot, if we're open for breakfast, we cannot sell liquor before 9 a.m.
Correct.
That's correct.
And you cannot exceed 12 midnight.
Okay, that's not this.
Your premise should be free and clear of all patrons at 12 midnight.
That's correct. Understand that too.
Okay. All right. Based upon the initial approval for this license and no one appearing in opposition to the issuance of this license, I hereby approve it, the 90-day, and conclude this hearing at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Today is March the 20th, 2025. The time is approximately 9:22 a.m. We are here today for a full drink and Sunday liquor license hearing under the small business criteria for STL Steak and Cake LLC, doing business as STL Steak and Cake, to be located at 3172 Morgan Ford Road. Present today is Miss Marquita Mayhorn, and may I have your name, ma'am?
Tavera Mahon.
Tavera Mayhorn. Okay, Mrs. Marquita Mayhorn is listed as 100% shareholder for this application. My name is Gwendolyn Cherry Sims. I'm the Liquor Control Supervisor for the Excise Division, acting in the absence of Miles McDonald, the Excise Commissioner. I also have to my left my Executive Secretary, Mrs. Mildred Bell Gibbons. I'm going to introduce some things for the record. This is a certified copy of the liquor code that gives us a right to host this hearing, 71819 for the record, Excise Exhibit 1. Excise Exhibit 2 will be the file for STL Steak and Cake LLC. Do you have any objections to those two documents or articles being entered on the record?
No.
According to your application, this application was filed on September February the 29th, for a restaurant bar at this location. According to what you filed is that you were filing for a restaurant bar that your hours of operation will be 9 a.m. to midnight daily. You cannot sell liquor before 9 a.m. Anytime that you are selling liquor, you must also be selling food. Okay? The requirement is that the person not be in debt or have any unpaid taxes, that they don't have any nuisance behavior that is against them or their proposed premise. Also that no police calls or any unsatisfied police information. For the record, we did a nuisance property check, and the check revealed no nuisance behavior or reports for the address of 3172 Morgan Ford. Also, we got a clearance through the collector revenue that your taxes has been satisfied, so you're cleared on that behalf. Have any questions thus far?
No.
Okay. Based up on it appearing that Ms. Mayhorn has cleared the hurdle of ensuring that there are no nuisance behavior, calls for service, and that all taxes appear to be in line, which is a requirement of the small business criteria for this proposed premise. Let the record indicate that no persons appeared in opposition to the issuance of your license, and that notices were mailed and or hand delivered to the alderwoman, the police captain, the neighborhood improvement specialist, and to your home address, notifying all persons of the scheduled hearing that we're here for today. And that the premise was placarded according to the record. The premise for the initial license was placarded on March the 3rd, 2025. And this hearing placard went up on March the 10th, indicating we have in the file posted placards on the premise. And you do understand that 51% of your sales must be from food.
Yes.
Okay. Well, based up on no persons appearing in opposition, nothing in our record indicate that this premise would be detrimental to the community. I hereby approve the initial 90-day restaurant bar license for STL Steak and Cake LLC, located at 3172 Morgan Ford. Do you have any questions at this time? At this time, I conclude. Today is March the 20th, 2024. The time is approximately 9:42 a.m. The applicant for Black Bear Cider Company LLC, doing business as Black Bear Cider Company, to be located at 1536 Tower Grove Avenue, is not present at this time. What we're going to do is we're going to continue this hearing to another date to be determined. because the applicant applied for a full drink Sunday license as well as a 22% wholesaler and a 22% manufacturer. No persons are appearing here today in support of or in opposition. According to the findings of the agent, the burden of proof has been met for the full drink liquor license. I just want to make that on the record. I'm gonna go ahead and enter on the record. We can clear up some additional matters later. I want to enter on the record excise copy of the file as excise exhibit 2, a certified copy of ordinance 71819 as excise exhibit 1. The liquor control officer, Ms. Williams, did the investigation for the full drink liquor license signature validity. She indicated that it was 17 property owners in the radius, of which 10 would be a majority, stating that the applicant submitted 12 signatures, which is 2 over a majority for the property owner category. According to the occupant tenant category for Ms. Williams, she indicated that 9 occupant tenants in the radius, a majority will be 6. The applicant submitted 8 signatures, which is 2 over a successful application. The burden of proof was met on both the property owner and occupant tenant category for the full drink liquor license. The notifications were sent to the neighborhood and premise was placarded for this particular location on March the 10th, 2025. Notices went to the alderwoman, to the police captain, Alderwoman Sonye, the neighborhood improvement specialist, Ms. Kate Epkamp, Captain Ziff, and to Mr. Logan himself on March the 10th. Those notifications was mailed out. The record reflect that we did a search to see if there was any calls for service for this particular location. There was no calls for service. We checked the nuisance property database. There was a previous nuisance issue that was resolved in 2017. No other nuisance behavior has been reported since then. The 100% shareholders information was cleared through the Collector of Revenue Office. Based upon no reports, police behavior, we find no reason why this particular establishment would be a detriment to the community. Thereby, we're going to tentatively approve the issuance of the full drink and Sunday license for the location of Black Bear Cedar Company LLC, doing business as Black Bear Cedar Company, to be located at 1536 Tower Grove Avenue. At this time, I'm going to conclude that section of the hearing. Also, for the record, the Black Bear Cedar Grove Company also made an application for a 22% wholesaler and a 22% manufacturer. These applications was filed on December the 13th, 2024. Under the 22% wholesaler and the 22% manufacturer, no signatures are required. Therefore, we're going to tentatively approve the issuance of the 22% wholesaler and the 22% manufacturer license for Black Bear Cedar Company LLC, doing business as Black Bear Cedar Company, located at 1536 Tower Grove under Mr. John Logan. Again, we find no reason to deny the license, and we find no indication that this premise would be a detriment. I hereby approve the 22% wholesaler and the 22% manufacturer. At this time, we conclude this hearing.